Hello, DGA crowd. How you doing? How did you enjoy Spider-Noir? Not that I can really see you, but I can kind of see you. Raise your hand if that was your first time watching the first 2 episodes. Oh, a lot. First one black and white, second one color? Yeah. I did it backwards. I did color and then black and white, so we're different. There you go. Well, I met up with some of the people who made this great show, and I thought we could all bring them out and talk to them very sternly. First one up, very talented actor and director. He plays Flint, Marko, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Huston. She plays Janet Ruiz. I think you will be seeing her a lot more in movies and TV shows. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Rodriguez. You know him, we all know him. He's an Emmy winner now. He's changed so much since he won the Emmy, so get ready for him to be very insufferable tonight. He plays Robbie Robertson, ladies and gentlemen, Emmy Award winner, Lamorne Morris. The Spider himself. Let me just tell you about this next guy. 120 movies. Over 120. One TV show, and it's this one. I don't know how we didn't get this to happen sooner. Plays Ben Reilly. He's the EP of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Academy Award winner, Nicolas Cage. And the guy responsible for getting all this together, he's a co-showrunner, the executive producer, writer, Oren Uziel. All right.
I can't believe you made me follow Nick.
Nick opened for you.
It's a good opening act. Welcome to Family Dinner. We're here today to talk about some issues that we've been having over the last few months, one of which was this TV show, Oren. You got to work alongside Phil Lord, Chris Miller, and Amy Pascal, who EP'd the show. Black and white and color, choose your own adventure. So why and how did you come to that? And then how did you get the guy next to you to do a good breakout performance on TV? So people could learn who he is.
It's good to put a face to a name, right?
Yeah.
I worked with Phil and Chris and Amy for years. Amy was running Sony when my first movie got made, and Phil and Chris I worked on 22 Drum Street. So we go way back. The color black and white thing was just kind of something that evolved over time. I think Nick had a hand in that as well. It just was an opportunity to do something no one's ever done before, which we've sort of piled on because Nick's never done TV, I'd never done TV, so it was just everybody trying to do things they'd never done before. But also it was a chance to sort of present, black and white was an opportunity for fans of the comic book world to get a taste of sort of German expressionism and hard lighting and an aesthetic they might not be familiar with, and maybe open them up to a chance to watch the library of film noirs that we all love so much, and sort of vice versa. If you're a fan of film noir, it's a chance to see a Humphrey Bogart-like character in a very vibrant, poppy, saturated color palette that you might not have gotten a chance to watch before. And Nick, we sat down pretty early on and had lunch and just started kind of riffing on the things we love and the references that we were like looking into to make this show special. And it was my first TV show, so it was a good chance for us to do it together for the first time, and I think treat it like a movie and treat it with the respect and make it as cinematic as possible and make it worth taking that plunge together.
What does Nick order at lunch?
Well, I just wrote about it because we met at Bottega Louie, for like what I thought were going to be the macarons or whatever, and Nick, it was 11 a.m. and ordered a Branzino. expect the unexpected.
You go to like a pastry, a place that's famous for pastries, and he in fact now calls me an 11 a.m. branzino. Because I did. I ordered an 11 a.m. branzino. It was 11 a.m. and I wanted to eat something healthy. I was cutting down on the sugar. But you brought up the black and white. I did want to talk just a little bit about that, because I think all of us as directors and actors want to be in a black and white movie or a black and white TV show. And I know how hard it is to get a black and white movie made or a black and white television show made. And everything I've said about black and white, I meant. I did mean it when I said I would like the younger folks to look at the color and then maybe hopscotch over to the black and white and discover how beautiful it is. And I'm convinced that within 5 minutes they'll get hooked and be absorbed into that universe. But the thing about the reality is, I was in survival mode. The show wasn't definitely greenlit, so I did call Jen and said, you don't only have to do it in color, in black and white, you can also do it in color. So I just was trying to get the show made. But I'm glad we did it, because now we've kind of fine-tuned it, and I hope that more folks in television will explore the model of deploying it in 2 different ways. You'll get more directors, you'll get more actors.
Awesome, thank you. Well, you segued great into my next question. I remember being 11 years old and watching The Rock, and I said, "I'd make a good Spider-Man one day." And Nick Cage. It was preordained, but with over 4 decades in this business, your first ever TV show, why now? Why this? And what finally got you to make that leap? My at the time teenage son sat me down to watch Breaking Bad. I had not been watching any television, and I was, for whatever reason, maybe a snob or whatever it was, I was like, I'm just gonna make movies. And he said, you gotta watch this. And I did, and I thought, oh wow, wait a minute. This is long form. There's time here to develop a character within 8 episodes that I would never have the time to do in a feature film. And it occurred to me that we could start, Oren and I actually started doing it. We started planting little seeds, that the character would start to move like a spider, and we would explain the different vocal intonations, keeping it enigmatic, but later in the show showing that he's watching the old movies and he's reprogramming his body to become more human again. I don't think we would have had the time to find that in a normal feature film. This gave us, and we were flexible, we were fluid, we were finding it as we went along, and that's what I was really hoping for, and so was Oren, and we got there. My favorite day on the show was when you came into my trailer and he said, look, why don't we say this about, the thoughts and the impulses, and you're getting control of it some of the time and all, and we just went and shot it. But that kind of flexibility and that freedom, I don't think I would have had that on a feature. So happily, the television experience was extremely rewarding for me as an actor. Do as much of it as you want.
I got a chance to thank Vince Gilligan.
Oh wow!
For helping convince you to do the television show.
Yeah, that's what it was. It really was. I saw the Breaking Bad and I was like, wow, okay, well, maybe I should really try this. Get the snob hat off and make a TV show.
Do a Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Well, we should be so lucky, but that was really the motivation.
Yeah.
New Girl would have given you the same.
And he's the next question. So, true story, guys. Lamorne won the Emmy while he was on set for the movie. So, for the movie, TV show, still a movie, feels like a movie to me. How insufferable was he after he won that Emmy when he came back to set?
For a week, he brought it with him every day. And it wasn't until Nick brought his Oscar that he put it away.
Well done.
That's fair.
He made me call him Emmy Award winner Lamorne Morris every time I addressed
This is
him.
called respect. This is respect. That's all. I didn't want much respect.
All right, Lamorne, focus. So, Robbie is a journalist, which means he's the only person that I'm legally required to root for. But how does that, I mean, we're in a time that journalism is very important. Now everyone realizes that. How did you shape that character, and what did you dig into, and is he based off of me at all?
I used to want to be a journalist back in the day. I wanted to be a sports journalist. I used to intern at Fox Sports back in Chicago, and I remember going in for an internship for day one, and I saw all the chaos that was happening backstage, all the research that was being done, and I thought, well, this is bullshit. And I honestly, I couldn't keep up. And I started acting. Well, I was already acting at the same time, but I leaned myself more into acting. But when I read the script for this, I knew a little bit about Robbie Robertson, and I did my research on the comics, and I wanted to explore more of what was happening with journalists back during those days. Upon doing that, I stumbled upon this guy that folks know named Ted Poston. But at the time, I hadn't known anything about him. They call him the Dean of Black Journalism. I have this strange suspicion that Robbie from the original comics was based on Ted Poston because they share a very similar walk. So when I'm doing research on Robbie, I start developing my character around Ted. We haven't seen so much of the live action version of Robbie. The late, great Bill Nunn played him in the Raimi films, but we didn't dive too much into his journey, his backstory. We didn't explore much there. So I got the green light from Oren, I got the green light from Steve to kind of have a little bit of dealer's choice there. And Ted Poston became a part of my life. And so that's a little bit of how I, found it. More so into the journalism lane than the Robbie lane. Yep. No, it wasn't based on you at all.
I was just giving you props, Sue. All right, Karen, Janet. It's a very great example of diversity I talk about, what sometimes people don't hear me about. I know that Janet Ruiz is Latina because I have eyes and I can see that, but it's not all that she is in the character. That's what makes it such a brilliant creation. So thank you guys for writing her, creating her, and thank you for portraying her. Janet stands completely on her own, and you feel it from the first scene. So what jumped off the page at you when you first read her and wanted to jump into that character?
Well, that she was like fully herself. Like I think part of the challenge for me was that 1930s felt so far away. There weren't a lot of references that I could really pull that like portrayed me, which eventually became really powerful because we were kind of putting it on film for the first time, which was really cool. But yeah, I think just that she's a woman who speaks her mind, who doesn't let society tell her what she is or cannot be, and that she surrounds herself within a community, particularly with Ben and Robbie, that allow her to be. So it's both like a singular empowerment, but also her story is that like you actually get empowered through community. That it takes others to say, actually, you are that, and you should be allowed to be that. And then of course, like I knew I was in the right project because as soon as I got cast, Oren was like, her original name was Janet Ross. And Oren called me and was like, what do you think about Ruiz? And I was like, yes, bitch, let's do this, yeah, it's just amazing. And fuck yeah, that's what's up.
Cursing is allowed. Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
No.
we're adults.
Jack. So Flint Marko is a character that a lot of fans think that they know already, and I'm sure comic book people will be very sane and normal when they talk to you about him for every day after this forever. But what was the fun like for you putting your own fingerprints on him, and what did it feel like to go toe-to-toe with Senor Cage, getting in the cage?
Straight in. Well, first off, when I first read this, or read for this, I was aware of the Sandman, but the comic history wasn't that, present in my life early on. But I found that Oren had written very, just real heartfelt characters. Like each person's going through their own struggle. And it felt so far on the sort of outer, hemisphere of what the Spider-Verse was, and it felt so unique, it felt so brilliant, and it felt that we were being given an opportunity to really develop these characters without stepping on the toes of anything that's come before or anything that might come after, because it lives solely in this sort of fraction of time, which was this, post World War I, Prohibition, the Great Depression, all these guys, it was like every person in this show. I said early on that, good people do bad things in desperate situations, and I felt like every single one of us was in some form of desperate situation. And that was, it's such a draw, because you can look at it as in the Spider-Verse, but you could also look at this as a standalone. It's so beautifully written. And the more you get into it, and you guys have watched the first 2 episodes, I mean, it just builds, and it's like, what a treat that we get to go and walk, tread the boards of where people were on the backlots of Warner Brothers and the MGM studio and the Universal, and this is where Humphrey Bogart and James Cagney and all the great directors and everybody were walking to these sets and sort of doing something. We don't get the opportunity to do something like this. And my first week was me and Nick beating the shit out of each other. That was literally my first week, and it was the best first week.
It was on the top of the building.
On the top of the building.
Yeah, right.
And we just would beat the shit out of each other, and then we'd go and sit and talk about films.
We were laughing a lot.
We were laughing a lot, and we just had it was the most magical first week of work for me, because I was not only working with a hero of mine, but we were having a good time.
We were
doing a
all
good
of us
thing.
were.
We were
Every time.
Everyone was having a good time, and we were up there, and it was so great because in between, we were going into deep history of film, music, and there was a moment Nick was about to hit me. He was like, "Who's your favorite composer?"
Right in the middle of the scene.
Right in the middle of the scene, and I'd be like, I've been really into Max Richter recently. Hit me, God. And it was, I have to say, just. For Nick's first time going to television, I've been very lucky to work with some amazing people and do some great television shows. This was a special one, it really was. And talk about the workload. Whatever we were doing, he was doing 10 times more. And I'm really saying that. It was insane that when you saw him coming to work every day. It was incredible.
What I was so happy with was the way I felt like we, the way Darren Tiernan shot it, the way Tracy Field dressed us in the wardrobe, really put us, what I had hoped for was that we could transport you. Yes, it's New York, yes, it's the 30s, but it's another dimension. I wanted you to forget that this is 2026 and that we are going somewhere into another time. And when I saw the first episode, I was like, wow, I think I'm really watching an old movie. This is wonderful. And that's why I love the black and white so much. That's what I was hoping for.
So in terms of, and shout out to Lily, who's not here, Lee Jung Lee.
Great.
Her singing in that first episode is
Incredible.
one of my favorite moments of the season. When you're looking at, as you're making this, there always comes a moment, especially when you're doing genre like this, do you ever second guess yourself in something like this of man, is this really actually going to work? Or did you hit the moment you're like, nah, we're killing it right now?
Oh my God, I mean, the whole time I was sweating. I mean, come on, think about it for a second. At the read-through, I'm gonna be talking like this. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired. No, I'm gonna keep doing it, stick to my guns, stick to it, just do it. I did not relax until they showed me all 8 episodes, and I literally went,
That happened because I was 50 feet behind Nick, and I went,
it's true. I mean, the whole time I didn't know. I just knew, I had this feeling that I had to go for it. We all did,
We knew. We knew. We were watching the whole time, and it was like, oh man, we're watching something special here. It was pretty great.
Thanks.
It's great.
Terrifying.
You know, terrifying, I'll tell you a story. Terrifying is the time early on when the director came over, he was trying to explain something to Nick, and he wasn't getting it right, and he brought Nick over and he said, just tell him what we're trying to do here. And I made the mistake of performing for Nick what Nick should do. It was early. And then Nick was like, okay, I got it. I'll do like you doing it. I'll do an Oren. I'll go do an Oren. And I did, and he did. And I'm at the monitor, and you hear me just cackling, because now I'm watching my fucking face on Nick.
The funniest, this is funny. So we're about to do the big read-through. All of us folks know about how important the read-through is with the television powers that be. And Dan, one of the producers on the show, says, now listen, make sure you don't mumble when you go to that read-through. I was like, what's the big deal here? Why is this so intense? I've been to read-throughs a million times with movies. You know, no, we haven't closed it yet with Amazon. Don't mumble. I called my old friend who did a lot of television, Mr. Charlie Sheen. And I said, Charlie, I said, listen, Nick, I'm really busy. I'm writing my book right now. What's the issue? I go, well, look, you've done a lot of TV. I've never done TV. Yeah, okay, what's up? What's up, dude? What's up? And I said, well, I was just told, well, we're doing the big read-through. Oh yeah, well, no, Nick, that's the hardest part. Man, that's the hardest part, man. I go, well, so what's the problem? I said, well, this producer said to me, don't mumble. And he said, I'm sorry, who told you not to mumble? I said, I know, I think his name's Dan. I'm sorry, is his last name Sony? No, well then tell him to fuck off. Hey Charlie, thank you. It was hilarious. And then I just laughed and I went and we did the read-through and we got the deal. I did the read-through talking like Humphrey Bogart, which didn't make it easy.
For the record, we love Dan.
We do love Dan. He loves the story. Dan Shear loves the story. We've been laughing about it ever since. We're still laughing about it. He became your favorite person, Charlie Sheen, after that story.
He's Dan Sony in my phone.
Dan isn't here by chance, is he?
He's here.
He's here.
It's amazing. Dan's
Laughing.
laughing right now.
Somewhere fucking himself.
Sorry, Dan.
I've lost control of the Q&A. All right, I have one more question for you all, and then we're gonna do some real special stuff here. But 8 episodes, more than half the room, this is their first time seeing it. So they're hooked now.
Yep.
Wait till you find out that Darth Vader's Luke's father at the end. It's crazy when it comes. But one, if you can describe in one sentence your experience making this show, we'll go down the line. But then Oren, for you at the end, you're gonna say that and tell us everything about season 2. So go ahead, Jack first.
Magic.
Well, that was one word.
It's a sentence.
No, he said sentence, right? Sentence?
Sentence?
It's a sentence.
I have a
Oh
sentence.
shit, I just heard one word. I'm trying to get out of this. It's like magic, I'm done. I'm drunk, get the fuck out of here.
It was magic. There's a sentence.
I feel like the time of my life, pero that begged me to relinquish myself. Yeah.
A dream come true for myself and my mother. She's obsessed with and has been trying to get me to do something in black and white my entire acting career. And she loves the show. She loves it.
What's it to mom?
Well, as a student of performance, I learned a lot, and it was an extremely electrifying and rewarding experience.
It was the opportunity of a lifetime. It's a dream come true. 2 cents.
And season 2?
Season 2, once you watch the first season in black and white, and then when you watch it again in color, and then if you double back and watch it one more time in black and white, I'll give you season 2.
AKA, make sure you tell all your friends and family to watch Spider-Noir. I just want to say one thing before I dismiss you guys today. It's Emmy season, as we know, and it's a genre program, and I feel like I fight with the public often of, people put things into boxes, and they see Spider-Noir and they think superhero, they're like, that's not for awards. It's exactly what awards were meant for. So that we're not tied to genre, we're not tied to any type of story, so this is definitely for your consideration, except for Lamorne. But everyone else, please feel free to I love him so much. One more time, let's just hear it for the entire cast of crew. I'm going to ask you guys to step off so I can do something cool. I'll come spend time with you backstage, don't worry, it's not over yet. Okay, guys. I'm gonna sing for you. No. Before the next thing happens, we have some of the crew in the audience with us. So I'm gonna call them and they're gonna stand up, and I want us to go crazy because artisans are important and you can't make this kind of stuff without them. So we have the casting director, Rachel Tenner, in the house. We have the cinematographer, Darren Tiernan. Our costume designer, Tracy Gigi Field. Production designer, Warren Allen Young. Prosthetics designer, Vincent Van Dyke. Our wonderful sound team, Matthew Sanchez, Andy Cecil, Nick Offord, and Ethan Beagle. The stunt team that probably let Nick Cage do stuff sometimes. Solomon Brandy and Hugh Owen O'Brien. And you can't do this without a VFX team, Nadal Maximore and Brooke Noska. All right. That was a treat, but that wasn't the treat that we were doing.
Now you sing.
Now I sing. Don't make me sing. We have the Mississippi soul singer Kirby here, because there's an original song in this wonderful season of television. It's called Saving Grace. The music and lyrics are by Sebastian Cole, Warren Oakfelder, and Jamie Silverstein. And Kirby is going to sing for you. Now, Kirby did ask me to sing. I said no. Let Kirby have the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirby.